Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to start block 2 of class 10th maths. In block 2 lecture 1 we will going to learn unit 9 definitions and theorem number 2-3. In lecture 2 we will going to start our unit number 2 and we will going to learn the topic nature of the roots of the quadratic equation and we will going to solve exercise 2.1. In lecture 3, we will going to discuss the topic cube roots of unity and their properties and we will going to solve exercise 2.2. In lecture 4, we will going to discuss the topic roots and coefficient of quadratic equation and symmetric functions of quadratic equation and we will going to solve the exercise 2.3 and 2.4. In lecture 5, we will going to discuss the topic formation of quadratic equation and synthetic division and we will going to solve exercise 2.5 and 2.6. In lecture number 6, we will going to discuss the topic 2.7 simultaneous equation and we will going to solve exercise 2.7. In lecture number 7, we will going to discuss the topic solving real problems with quadratic equation and we will going to solve exercise 2.8. In lecture 8, students, we will going to solve our miscellaneous exercise 2 and in lecture number 9, we will going to solve miscellaneous exercise 10 and its definitions. Now students, today we are going to learn Unit 9, chords of a circle, its definition, Theorem 2 and Theorem 3. Now students, what do you mean by the radial segment? Note that the radial segment of a circle is a line segment determined by the center and a point on the circle. Like, here is the center of the circle O and here is a point on the circle, that is Q. So, a line segment that is OQ is known as the radial segment. There is only one center point, whereas all the radii of the circle are equal in length. Length of the radial segment measure OQ and measure OT is always equal. Now students, आपका सेंटर से जो सर्कल के किसी भी पॉइंट तक का जो डिस्टेंस होता है, it is known as radial segment and all the radii of the same circle are equal in size, like OQ and OT is always equal. Now students, what do you mean by an arc? An arc is ABC of a circle is any portion of its circumference. Like here is ABC, it is the portion of the circumference of the circle. So ACB is the arc of the circle. Now students, what do you mean by the chord of the circle? A chord AKB of a circle is a line segment joining any two points A and B on the circumference of the circle. Like here is a line segment AB which is joining the 2 points of the circle, so it is known as the chord of the circle. And students, look at PQ. It is also the chord of the circle, but what is the difference between AB and PQ? A chord of a circle which is passing from the center of the circle. Here is the center of the circle O, which is passing from the center of the circle, is known as the diameter of the circle. Now students, what do you mean by the segment? A segment is the portion of a circle, like here is the segment, is the portion of the circle bounded by an arc and a corresponding chord. When a circle is divided by an arc or a chord, like AB is a chord and this circle is bounded by a chord or an arc, this is known as the segment of the circle. ये पोर्शन जो आपके पास कलर्ड पोर्शन है, दिस इज नोन एज द माइनर सेगमेंट और ये जो आपके पास शेडेड पोर्शन है, दिस इज नोन एज द मेजर सेगमेंट. नाउ स्टूडेंट्स, सेक्टर, व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय द सेक्टर ऑफ द सर्कल? When a circle is bounded by two radii of the circle, like OA and OB is the radii of the circle, and this circle is bounded by two radii of the circle, so it is known as the sector of the circle. And students, look at this. This colored portion is known as the major sector and this shaded area is known as the. Now students, I am going to read the statement of second theorem. A straight line drawn from the center of the circle bisect a chord which is not a diameter is perpendicular to the chord. Here is the diagram and here is a straight line OM and it is bisecting the chord AB, and AB is not the diameter of the circle. What is given? M is the midpoint of any chord AB of a circle with center at O. AB आपके पास chord है और circle का जो center है वो क्या है? O है. Where chord AB is not the diameter of the circle. Now students, what we are going to prove? We are going to prove OM is perpendicular to the chord AB. Here is OM and we are going to prove OM is perpendicular on AB. Now students, construction क्या की हमने? Join A and B with center O, right angle 1 and angle 2 as shown in the figure. Like students, now हमने O को A के साथ join किया and point O को B के साथ join किया और हमने angle 1 और angle. Now students, we are going to explain this theorem with the help of proof statement and reasons. Now students, आप अगर अपनी diagram में observe करें तो here is in diagram in triangle OAM there is a correspondence in triangle OBM. Here are two triangles OAM and OBM. Number 1, measure OA is equal to measure OB. OA is equal to OB because both are the radii of the same circle. So OA is equal to OB. Measure AM is equal to measure BM because it was given in the statement OM bisecting the line segment AB. So measure AM is equal to measure BM. It was given in the statement. Now student, measure OM is equal to measure OM. Now students, आप observe करते हैं कि आपके पास दोनों ट्राइंगल्स में लाइक OAM में और आपके पास OBM में OM क्या है? ये कॉमन साइड है. सो इट इज कॉमन बिटवीन बोथ द ट्राइंगल्स. Therefore, triangle OAM is congruent to triangle OBM. When these three sides of this triangle are congruent to the three sides of this triangle, then this is known as triple S postulate, like S dot S dot S congruent to S dot S dot S. S stands for side. That implies that measure angle 1 is equal to measure angle 2. Because their corresponding sides are congruent, so their corresponding angle will be congruent. That is, measure angle 1 plus measure angle 2 is equal to measure angle AMB, which is equal to 180 degree. Now student, here is measure angle 1 and here is measure angle 2 and this angle is AMB. ये जो आपके पास एंगल AMB है ये आपके पास क्या है? इक्वल टू 180 डिग्री है बिकॉज दीज आर द सप्लीमेंट्री एंगल्स. नाउ स्टूडेंट्स, मेजर एंगल 1 इज इक्वल टू मेजर एंगल 2 इज इक्वल टू 90 डिग्री. अब आपके पास बिकॉज ये क्या है? 180 डिग्री के इक्वल है और आपके पास कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग एंगल्स क्या है? कॉन्ग्रुएंट है, लाइक इक्वल है. सो आपके पास मेजर एंगल 1 और मेजर एंगल 2 दोनों किसके इक्वल होंगे? 90 डिग्री के इक्वल होंगे. दैट इज OM इज परपेंडिकुलर टू AB. इसका मतलब क्या है? OM इज परपेंडिकुलर किस पे है? AB पर. Students, we are going to learn theorem number 3. Here I am going to read the statement of theorem number 3. Perpendicular from the center of a circle on a chord bisect it. Like, now in triangle it is given in the statement that AB is the chord of the circle with center at O, so that OM is perpendicular on chord AB. Like, अब आपको given है कि AB chord of a circle है with center O and OM is perpendicular on AB. Now we are going to prove that is OM is bisecting the chord AB. To prove M is the midpoint of chord AB, that is measure AM is equal to measure BM. Because M is the midpoint of AB, so measure AM is congruent to measure BM. Now students, construction, join A and B with center O. Now we have joined the point O with A and point O with B. Now students, we are going to prove the theorem with the help of statement and reasons. Now students, look at the diagram. Here are two triangles, triangle OAM and triangle OBM, and there is a correspondence between the triangle. Here measure angle OMA is equal to measure angle OMB, which is equal to 90 degree. Because OM is perpendicular to AB, so measure OMA and measure OMB is equal to 90 degree. It is given in the statement. Now students, hypotenuse measure OA is equal to hypotenuse measure OB. Here 90 के सामने आपके पास जो साइड होती है वो क्या होती है, हाइपोटेन्यूस होती है. सो मेजर OA is equal to measure OB because OA and OB are radii of the same circle. Now student, measure OM is equal to measure OM. It is the common side between the both the triangles. So therefore triangle OAM is congruent to triangle OBM. Like in right angle triangles, HS postulate, like HS congruent है HS के साथ आपके पास, like H for hypotenuse and S for side. Hence measure AM is equal to measure BM because these two triangles are congruent. So measure AM is congruent to measure BM, corresponding sides of the congruent triangle. So OM bisect the chord AB. Hence prove OM is bisecting the chord AB.